live on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, everywhere.
Jeez,
And
that's crazy.
yeah, can you believe that? Oh my
That's
gosh,
cool.
oh my gosh. Yeah. So, Evangeline
How was
Wenzel.
your Christmas?
Yeah, my Christmas was amazing. Very, very happy. And I watched a lot of movies. I don't know if you like Home Alone. This is my Christmas movie, and I laughed a lot. So I hope other people had the happiest Christmas ever. Although we are dealing with a lot of things, so
We've got
yeah.
we've got people not with all the COVID stuff. We've got people not for the first time in their entire life not spending Christmas with their families over a virus and letting the virus stop them. Like I mean we all know the virus is real, but to have not see your family on holidays is just not okay in my world. Like we have not allowed COVID or these mandates to dictate um, our life. We've gone on as the same, and we had a great Christmas. Probably one of the best Christmases we've ever had. It was peaceful. It was loving. It was fun. It was filled with music and joy and kids and laughter and good food. Um, Not feeling alone, and so grateful for that because there are a lot of people that are alone right now. There are probably more people alone right now because of COVID than anyone else. I mean, it's just really sad that the world and media has done such a fabulous job at mind brain like just brainwashing and going into the subconscious mind and uploading mankind with this false belief system about safety and protection and viruses and the human body. And it's just something we've all never been through. This is not something that um people in World War II went through, and SARS and all. I mean, this is a whole other ball game. This is like all of it put in together. They blended every single type of war and made it all one big fear factor to jolt the human body, mind, and soul to eventually let the global elites just take over and then let humanity just happily give it over because they're going to be so desperate for wanting their way of life back or their jobs back or having their family back. And I just honestly I just don't know if that's ever going to happen because well, we can manifest and pray that it's going to happen because so much is being revealed, right? There's so much information coming out, yet we're no further in the awakening process than we were a year ago because the same people refuse to go further with any kind of knowledge that doesn't already exist in their mind. So, we're also at war with everyone that's been not everyone, but because I know a lot of people that did go to college and they weren't like fully indoctrinated. I mean, they got their degree and what they needed, but they didn't sit there and soak up every belief that every professor and every student, there was doing because most schools are liberal and they get indoctrinated. So you try to talk to these people about information they didn't learn in college and they just look at you like you're crazy or like the information is not valid. And it just it's so hard talking to people that don't understand how the American system was created and how it got flipped and how it's been ran by just a few white men that want to have total control, and we're not allowed to even speak their name, and when you do speak their name nobody knows who the fuck they are. That's how well they got away with it. Like, how did you not know that the Rockefellers wrote your book that you learned in college? Did you know there were other stuff that they didn't put in your book? I mean, like, I had a friend that had a grandfather that was a Freemason, and I got to see, like, these literature and science all this amazing information about the human body that literally was only kept for them and was never released. And then all these other amazing scientists that had findings and published stuff were banned, were removed, and you got to see all the stuff that could have been in our educational system, and it wasn't. So they still have so much more power because they have all this knowledge that we've never even knew existed. And so people like you and me and all the awakened ones that have gone down the rabbit hole, that have done all the research, that's looked through the literature, that's looked through the indoctrination, that's looked at how Hollywood has been ran, looked through the CIA, looked through all the politicians, looked through all of the policies from parties. And you really are left with, the truth. So there's only so many of us out there, but now we're fighting. Now Christians and conservatives are being like prosecuted and crucified for following the Constitution and knowing their rights, and speaking about Christ when originally this country was founded on Christ. And we've been just so misled because Hollywood and the elites and all those, crazy draconian ones and satanic people, they did a really good job at creating this fake illusion of what reality was like. They're like, no, we're going to tell you what life is like. You're going to watch the movies we're going to make. You're going to watch the shows that we make. You're going to learn what we want to teach you. And you're going to follow the people that we want you to follow because we're going to manipulate the numbers to make this person look like they have thousands of followers, like they're this major influencer when they have shit for content. Nothing about transformation or actually for mankind. And then watching young little girls at 10 years old not know who they are, whether they're a girl or a boy. They don't know if they have a penis or a vagina. Covering their face with layers and layers of clown makeup to look like someone else. We're not allowed to be ourselves anymore. So all these authentic, vibrating, I'm going to be me and I don't care, are like, you're not allowed. You need to be like everyone else. Your content doesn't look like everyone else, so you're not going to get followers. You're not sharing enough of your booty.
Exactly.
You're not showing enough skin. You're not walking around, showing everyone how much weight you lost and how skinny you are. Oh my God. Maybe if I was, I'd have more clients. I'd have more followers. Maybe if I sat there and went like this all day. That's so sad as a mom because I've got a 14-year-old daughter and that's what's popular. That's what's cool. That's what's in. That's what's accepted. That's what will make you special, is revealing it all. And I'm not saying not revealing it. I mean, like there's a point of having confidence, right? There's a point of welcoming and embracing your body and having confidence within yourself. But why does that confidence have to be showing everything? I don't understand. Like, where did we go wrong? Like, where did it get flipped where we want to empower women? Like, we're not in other countries where we're just all, caved in like this and covered and masked up, right? We've always had the free will to dress how we want. Farrah Fawcett brought those Daisy Dukes out, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
not like it is now. 10-year-olds weren't wearing Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm old school or something. Like I almost sound like my parents. Like, oh, back in our day, we had to walk this many miles to school and eat all your food, stuff like that. But right now, it's like, wow, there are families that are going without food. There are children that have parents that are addicts and they're locked in that house, don't get to go anywhere while their parents are fucked up all day, don't want anything to do with them. And then the kids are in their room dyeing their hair blues and purples and wearing crazy shit and lost within themselves because they don't have friends. They're not doing anything. They're just like lost. And it's everything the system wants. They are winning because our future depended on the youth. our future depended on what these kids were learning and how we were going to empower them to be entrepreneurs and anything they want to be. And now it's like none of them have any drive to be fucking anything. They either want to have a YouTube channel, smoke weed all day on a channel, and become famous for that, and then YouTube pays you to have no education. But then again, it's like, wait, I don't want my kids getting educated through the indoctrination system. I hope it changes by the time they do go to college, because I'm cool with them taking the other route and going to alternative trade, trade schools and learning what they really want to learn about. That's what college should be about. Shouldn't have to go through all this bullshit 3 years just to get to the topic that you want to study and learn and do for the world. And then you got to do another 4 years for that. And then you only get taught what you're allowed to be taught in that field. And then you have to go outside after you get, whatever, like my dentists, like all the dentists fucked up my mouth, and it took a biodentist to fix it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why don't all the dentists know what you know? Like, this isn't fair. They should know what the teeth are doing to the rest of the body. And he's like, we don't get taught that in school. You have to take it upon yourself to go learn that. I'm like, wow, because the dentists messed my mouth up since from 10 years old all the way until I was so sick, and then I had to find out that I literally had to reverse every single thing that the Western medicine did to me. I had to reverse what they did to my uterus and all the stuff there. I had to reverse what they did to my jaw. I had to reverse what they did to my root canals in my mouth. I had to reverse all the toxins and metals that all the pharmaceuticals put in my brain. All the stuff that the Botox that I was going in and having from neurologists for my migraines left me worse than what it was giving me relief from. Like, I had to do all this separate work before I could treat my illness. It's completely backwards. And now I've got so many, I'm part of such a huge community of people that have been wronged by the medical system, denied their illness and diagnosis. And to have us be the ones, be the dumb ones or the stupid ones or the ones that don't get it. And now we're here at COVID and we're like, told you. Oh, you think those COVID tests are going to really fucking give you an accurate answer? No. It's going to be positive, negative, positive, and then they're not even going to be reliable. They've been doing that with other illnesses for decades, keeping people not knowing what the fuck is wrong with their body, just so they can continue to be a repetitive client, to come back with concerns. Let's try another medication. I'll see you back on Tuesday. It's this trap. I call it the American human experiment trap. It's an experiment. It's like, there's a reason why it's called practice. They're practicing on us. And it's inhumane and it's wrong. And like, I learned so much from when my body was failing me and not getting answers. And then it ended up, my own job as a hairdresser gave me heavy metals in my body and in my blood. They were trying to tell me it was early Parkinson's. So when I did go to Mexico and I find out, Parkinson's is actually heavy metal poisoning. It causes tremors. Your whole body shakes. That's metals that have been in the body for so long that destroy the cell's code, and then they get into the brain and start screwing up your neurotransmitters. And I mean, things that people don't even know about, but they're like, oh no, I have this. It's this diagnosis, so I'm on this medication for that. Oh, I'm bipolar. Oh, I'm ADHD. Oh, I have chronic anxiety. I mean, how many fucking labels is this medical system going to come up with for things that they're doing to us? We are only reacting to what they're doing to us. Negative frequencies, programming, anxiety, the fear, the lack of knowing what's going on in your own body gives them so much power. And so then you've got people like you and me and life coaches and gurus out there that have, gone through the darkness, that have been through abuse and illness and all these things that can disrupt a human body, right? trying to bring awareness. No, go deeper. No, go, here, let me help you. Let me open your eyes a little bit about another perspective. And it's been really difficult because we've been trained and programmed for an easy solution, whether that's depression, anxiety, weight loss. It's like, fuck doing the work. Just give me a pill. Just give me a shake. I don't know how to do it myself. So let me pay hundreds of dollars to follow a plan out of a binder on how to fucking eat like a normal person. It just doesn't make sense. And then you watch these people become famous online because they lost 20 pounds because they followed this plan or blah, 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 blah. And then 6 months later, you see them gain weight again. It's like, they don't want to tell us that. Why don't you just look at your lifestyle? What are you eating every day? Who are you engaging with? What are you thinking about? What are your beliefs about weight? Do you think because your mom was heavy, you're going to be heavy? Do you have a belief that losing weight is hard? Do you have a belief that every time I try to lose weight, I lose weight and I gain it back again? Those are subconscious programs. And like why I thrived and why I had to become a master facilitator in working on people's beliefs, because you can get people to lose weight on their own by working on their perception about food or how they look at their body or how they feel about losing weight. If they believe they can lose weight on a subconscious level, their body will lose weight. But if you have a belief that it's going to be hard and I've tried so many ways and I got to do this, and then that's what you're going to get.
That's true. Everything is in your head. That's absolutely true. You have to reprogram them because they have been programmed differently,
Yes. All of this that's happening to us right now is all due to false programming. False programming about health, about beauty, about products, about food. I mean, medicine. They literally brainwashed us to think completely opposite of the truth. So when you try to come at them with truth, people just think you're some crazy cuckoo. I mean, exactly. When I try just healing from a chronic illness is considered a conspiracy. They just don't believe you because the medical system programs you, brainwashes you to believe, oh, you have fibromyalgia. This is just forever. Oh, you have lupus. Oh, you have MS. Oh, you have RA. Oh, you have this. So you are now the victim of your own circumstances, and we love you being a victim because we can help victims. And then there's people like me and you, other coaches that are like, we're here to make you not a victim anymore. We're here to give you your power back. We're here so that you're no longer a victim of your own circumstances, and you don't need to be going back to the doctor over and over and over again. It's like you come at them with something like that, they're like, that no. Yeah. No. And then the only thing I have to go off of is my personal experience. It's like, okay, fine. If my tactic of coaching and telling you what I can do for you as a coach isn't working, and then you're going to blast me, well, then I'm going to flip the switch and tell you all the shit I've been through in my life since a child up until my 40s and what I had to do to heal from it. And, it's either crickets or, oh, I'm sorry, or yeah, right. Okay, right. The Lord really saved you. Like, it's all this horrible, false belief system. What do you want to believe in? It's really sad because this is a belief system, spiritual war. What has your religion led you to believe about God and Jesus and Christ? Like, you got the Pope that's literally brain fucked all the Catholics into worshiping Satan. I know that sounds so crazy, but we know what's going on, and everything with the Vatican, everything on religion. Like, how are Christians at war with Christians? There are like people like me that are like, well, if you're a Christ follower, then you're gonna understand that you're gonna be crucified and slandered because you're not going to be following man's law, and we don't agree with killing God's creation. I'm not saying I'm 100% against abortion, because I think there's a time and a place for it. But the way that they're pushing at it, like it's a birth control, like it's an easy way out. Uh, 8 months into it, I decided I don't want it anymore. I'm so
People
grateful I
were
have that
lazy.
right. You
People
know, I mean,
lazy.
like, what the fuck? How did we get to that point? And then
Exactly.
people come at me, well, what if your 13-year-old daughter got raped and she got pregnant? I'm like, okay, we're not talking about that. You know, we're not talking about that. We're talking about an adult, a woman over 18, well knew she was pregnant over 6 months and decides after she doesn't want to have it anymore. And then we allow to kill the baby. I
Yeah.
just, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying not to be judgmental over people that don't share my beliefs. I see how I can come at people really hard, but I think it's because I allowed myself my entire life to just morph into everyone else's beliefs and be okay. And oh, she believes in, witches and the devil and she does her voodoo doll shit, but that's her. Heh. I,
Yeah.
I overlooked a lot of satanic negative shit. I allowed it to be a part of my life and my field. And it wasn't until, all going down the train of trying to heal, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to repent. There's a lot of things I've done, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not close with my family anymore. And I have a really amazing Greek family. And because I don't, uh,
Yeah.
believe in what they believe in,
Mhm.
or because I'm not a Democrat and didn't vote for Biden, or they think Trump's such a horrible person. And for me, I didn't vote for Trump because it was about Trump. I voted for the Conservative Party. Has nothing to do with Trump, but I am grateful for his honesty and his rawness and him trying to take America back. But and then me just they my family and my past people in my past do not like me talking about my past. They don't like me talking about the negative things that have happened to me, and unfortunately they're a part of the story. But I had to come out. I had to share my shit because the Lord was requiring me to. He was like, the only way you're going to heal is until you we heal the world when we share our pain.
That's true.
We to share our suffering allows other sufferers to know they're not alone. So it was like, shame on you, Evangelina, for keeping this all in. Shame on your family for not allowing you to speak up about the injustice and how what it felt like to be abused and what it felt like to be groomed to go off with some fucking older sex crazy guy. I mean, I've got a lot of shit that is tied to my family and I still love them. I forgive them all. Um, but it is my choice as an adult on who I get to engage with and who I get to bring into my field. And unfortunately, they're not safe for me. It's not a safe um, love. It's a kind of a conditional love where I will be loved by them if I da, 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 da.
Mhm. I know this
If
story very
I
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and that's why I am on social media always talking about the black sheep. All the ones that have been blacklisted from their family, or the ones that never got resonated with their family, or the ones that the family always told them, you're not like us, you're weird, you're different, and making that a
You're
bad
crazy.
thing, you know,
Yeah.
and when it's actually not. And I've known families that have had the black sheep in their family, but they embraced them for being the black sheep, and they became an amazing human being because of it. But then you've got millions of other ones that are walking around this planet feeling like they're broken beings because their own family made them feel unworthy, rejected their authenticity, rejected who they were, didn't support them, and shunned them. Like, shh, stop, don't do that. When you go out in public, don't do this. When you go out here, don't say that. And I'm Greek. I grew up in a Greek culture and Greek church, and Greek girls don't do this and Greek girls don't do that, and if you do this, you're a bad girl and you're a dirty girl, and all these fucked up false beliefs that turn girls inward, thinking they're bad because oh, they went to a party with the American friends. Oh, they have a boyfriend. I'm a whore now.
Yeah.
There's all these cultures that are trying to raise their children in America with another cultural background that makes no fucking sense. It's like, why didn't you just keep us in Greece? Wouldn't have been a big deal over there if we were whores. Everyone's all fucking at 12 years old over in Greece. I mean, it's a totally different way of life. But over here, if you're Greek, you're supposed to be this kind of a girl. Or I don't know. There's many cultures, Asians and Filipinos. And I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood that had many different ethnicities, and their cultures and traditions were so different. It was beautiful at the same time because I got to grow up learning about different ethnicities, Indian, Black family, Asian families, Indian, Native American, Greek, Italian, Hispanic. I mean, it was awesome. And that's why my heart is so sad right now, because I don't know where the racism, and it didn't exist when I was growing up. Like, I don't know why it's so huge right now. All of a sudden, George Floyd dies, and here we are back from way before Martin Luther King. We're back to being racist again. White people are horrible people, and you know, and then that leads into the topic of Black Lives Matter, right? It's like, okay, so I'm supposed to hold up a flag now to prove that Black Lives Matter? Like, I'm supposed to have a sticker on my house now, and if I don't, I'm racist. I mean, do these people know that I'm a Greek American? I've welcomed all colors of life into my home. My nanny was African American. She was a Black girl. My son's girlfriend is Black. I mean, I when this whole Black Lives Matter thing came out, and I'm like, all lives matter, all colors matter, all colors matter. Like, what do you mean? And then even my son's generation, like, what? No, you need to acknowledge what the Black people went through. I'm like, but we have been acknowledging that for decades.
Yes.
It's part of our fucking school history. If it didn't make a difference and we haven't evolved, why are we going to school with Black kids? Why are we on the bus with Black kids? Why do we have a Black president? Why do we have Black teachers and Black leaders and Black police officers? So it's a white man's fault that there's not more Black teachers and not more Black presidents? Like, I'm lost with that whole, I mean, we've been kind of blacklisted from my own neighborhood because we didn't vote for Biden. And I'm not going to sit here and be on this Black Lives Matter narrative when I've always made their lives matter. I brought them into my life. That's how I make them matter. I don't fucking hold a flag out and have white man guilt. Like, for me, watching these white people holding up flags and putting their kids in masks and going to these things, it's like, oh, this is your way of making them count. This is your way of making them matter because you have white woman guilt and you never made them matter. So you're going to go in there and hold a flag. So, okay. So I'm the racist one now. It's just so backwards. How is right wrong and wrong right? How is evil good and good evil? How is God bad and Satan good? Like,
Yes,
how are
so many
healers,
things.
like, the system manipulated mankind to think healers and spiritual healers and psychics and all those amazing prophetic fucking people as evil and dark and bad. And these are amazing loopholes and opportunities for people to heal, because I mean, I have a psychic friend that heals people because the doctors can't. So these doctors use her as their backup for their toughest patients, and she gives them whatever reading and understanding what's going on, and boom, they get to the root cause. And it's like, that's what encouraged me. That's what I was like, I need to tap into that ability that we all have. Like, I want to be able to help people on a level that doctors don't fucking know how to, right? So that's where my war is. I see people suffering. I'm part of a community of Lyme disease and chronic illness and fibromyalgia and mental illness, addiction. But none of them, I don't know what the problem is. It's like they're either become comfortable with their circumstances of being a victim,
They
or
just don't move
it's
on
too
from there.
threatening to change.
They need to acknowledge they have a problem in order for them to move, and they have the desire to move from this victim mentality. So
Well, with Lyme disease, everyone's been American doctors, since they don't know very much about Lyme disease. And the ones that do are kind of like underground. We've just been told there's no cure for Lyme disease. This you're gonna die this way. Or people living with MS and fibromyalgia and all those lupus diseases are actually a chronic infectious disease that the system makes a lot of money off of giving them an MS diagnosis and avoiding eradicating the bacteria and viruses that are causing that person to slowly not fucking function. That's a bacteria. We are made up of it. So if you have trauma in your body or in your field from a childhood or any kind of disruption, if you don't let it go or heal it or release it from the field in the body and the heart, right? Eventually, it's like a pinball in your body. It just keeps running around and playing games. It never leaves, and then it manifests in a certain part of the body, and then they get fatigue, and then they start getting gut issues, and they start. I mean, the difference. There are people that are coexisting, right, walking around not knowing. Then there are people that know. The people that know actually take in everything they're learning online. Oh my God, this is what's happening to me. This is Lyme disease. And then they upload all these things that's happening to their bodies. And then half of them don't even treat what needs to be treated. They're just like, I have Lyme disease. I'm in pain 24 hours a day. I can't move. I can't do this. And then I'm like, well, what are you doing about it? Oh, I've tried everything. And then when you come at people that, that have chronically been living with something for so long and trying to tell them, I can offer you a way to get out of that. And it's just too much for them. Like, you're a joke, Evangelia, or you were never sick. That was it. You were never sick. You don't know. I said, yes, I do. I just was not okay living in that existence.
Exactly.
I just couldn't do it. I mean, I gave in for 6 years. I allowed the disease to take over because I gave in. I believed everything they said. I was just going to slowly die, and this is it, and this is fibro, and blah blah blah, and this is your way of life. So I learned how to make my whole existence cater to my disabilities. So you learn to make and then there's some people that they've created their whole existence around their debilitating issues, so they don't have to be responsible for actually doing things or taking action, or I'm too sick, or I have this, I've been like this way for years, my husband, I'm just too sick. Then I have to are you detoxing? What are you doing to work on your mindset? Are you doing anything to bring calmness to your cells and your nervous system? These people aren't doing anything.
Yeah, that's true. They don't exercise. They eat whatever they find. They don't care for themselves, and then they're angry why they're sick or why this happened, that happened.
And then they still continue to go to the doctors.
Exactly. They give them pills, and they're not sure if this is the problem. They give them another pills, and everything is money.
Well, it's like it's funny because when you go, like one time I went to a doctor's appointment with my husband for his back. He was for his neck. He was in a car accident. And I wanted to go just because I like picking the doctor's brains because they're so stupid. And, I try my best to try not be too negative about doctors because there are good doctors out there and they only know what they know, and I have to respect that, and they do their best with their ability. But then there are the ones that know exactly what's going on. They know they're not allowed to send their patients to an alternative practitioner because then they get their business and practices screwed. They have to give out pharmaceuticals because they've got ties and connections and agreements and contracts and all this shit with the pharmaceutical industry, because the pharmaceutical industry is what wrote their books, what taught them everything. So the pharmaceutical industries are actually just use the doctors as puppets. The doctors really don't know anything. They're like the middle pusher man before the client. So you've got the drug user, right? I need cocaine. Let me go hit up my dealer. And then my dealer will be like, hold on, none of my guys have showed up yet. They'll be back on Friday. I'll give you a call when my stash comes in. I mean, that's what it's like when a pharmaceutical salesman comes in with their briefcase and they're like, hey, check out this, Bobby. We got some new ones for those people that have chronic illness. We got some new ones for those people that have depression. We have some new ones that, it just goes on. And it's sick. And it's like I was sitting down with the doctor with my husband, and he's talking about all this stuff. And there was I can't remember what it was, but I'm like, oh yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, luckily I went and had stem cells for mine, or I would have had open brain surgery. That was the only option they had for me. And he was like, what, stem cells? Wow, that's like really cutting edge. I go, yeah, for American doctors it is, but in Mexico and Germany, they've been doing it for 40 years. This is like old news for them. It's like they get to the root cause and they repair it. And then he said, yeah, you know, we've been learning some stuff with my wife's health issues lately. We just discovered this thing called candida, that she's got candida overgrowth. And I was like, oh yeah, and candida can be bad. What is she doing to treat it? And he goes, we can't, I guess there's no treatment for it. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, did I just hear that from a doctor? I was like, candida overgrowth? I'm like, she needs to do water colonics or some coffee enemas and change her diet to help, you know, drop down the yeast levels in her body. And he's like, wait, what? I got to write this down. He's like, this is amazing. How do you know this? And I'm like, yeah, I had to learn it because you guys didn't know it. Thanks. You know? And all the colonoscopies, all the methods they have to tell someone that is chronically suffering from gut pain. And then their tests are like, we don't find anything. Colonoscopy, colon looks great. They can't even detect parasites on purpose, because parasites are like #1 cause of so many things in the human body. I mean, we're supposed to have parasites, but man, the food they feed us, the water they're drinking is filled with metals and parasites and all kinds of stuff that just keeps people like in this zombie-like mode, you know? And that's why I like to talk about Wizard of Oz. It's like poppy fields is big pharma and big tech, right? Everyone's walking around in these poppy fields, looking on social media, watching the movies, watching TV, believing everything, totally numb from what's really going on. And then when you talk to people that know what's really going on, everyone's like, oh my God, that's just so crazy. It's like, yeah, the truth is fucking crazy. Maybe it's better for you to stay asleep and only leave the job for the awakened ones. Because I'm at this point now where I'm like, you know, been at this for a good couple years. Those people are still asleep. They don't want to wake up. They actually have probably a dialogue with themselves and go, you know what? Yeah, that truth shit looks pretty crazy. I'm good with what I know.
Exactly.
I'm just going to stay right here.
They don't want
And I'm learning to respect that, because I remember the trauma I went through when I did find out, when I was going down the rabbit hole, when I found out about adrenochrome, when I found out about child sex trafficking, what the elites were doing. I mean, my soul was ripped out of my body. My heart was shattered, and I vomited all over the floor. I could not believe. I mean, let me take that back. It's because I believed. I knew within my soul and my every bit of my being, my every cell in my body knew what the truth was when I came. I mean, when you are open and willing, your whole body tells you what's true and what's not true. So it's only when we're blocked or question things or not in tune with our you know, the way our body feels when we come across someone that's really evil or negative, right?
yeah.
It's the same thing when you come across information. And when this information came at me, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like the worst part of the butterfly's transformational process. Like,
yes, I know. How
and
it
my
feels.
heart
It
just,
was the same thing. I
now
can
I was
say
like,
the same
screw
story.
it. Yeah, I was like, screw it. Look at it. How many millions of children are missing and suffering right now in this moment, and we're not. So I really don't have anything to lose but to share about it, because if they're silenced, no one's hearing their voice. So then why not use our voices to be their
Exactly.
voice?
Hey, it's a free country.
You know,
But
I'm trying to be my voice for the children that are being sex trafficked. I'm trying to be the voice for people that still suffer from Lyme disease. I don't suffer from Lyme disease anymore, but I still try my best way to bring awareness. It's not the only narrative I'm on anymore, but like now it's about awakening the soul and what is being buried in your heart. What is stuck in your mind that is plaguing you? What are you eating? There are so many things that, take care of the whole body. That's like, I'm not going to just focus on one person because when I get across like addicts, I love, it's like they've never been given the opportunity to be heard and to discover the root cause to why they're addicted, why they're using, or talking to a child that's been groomed and was sex trafficked and then got out and then couldn't live a normal life because it didn't pay well, and so brainwashed that they missed their trafficker and missed the money they made trafficking. So then they left back into that world. I mean, people
Yeah.
don't understand this. It's like, I get why the system came up with this. Get a 9 to 5 job. Be so busy that you don't know what else is going on in the world. Be
Yeah.
so busy that you don't know millions and millions of children in Africa and families drink fucking water every day with parasites in them. Like this year for my birthday, I'm going to do it. I want to do a water charity where it's a charity when you donate, it literally tracks your dollar and your money and tells you exactly where in Africa your dollar and your money went for their clean water, and seeing them drink clean water. Like, people take advantage of what we have and how great it is here, and now it's about to be destroyed. And that, yes, Africa has tainted water, but we have tainted water here too. The water coming out of our faucet and the waters we take a bath and shower in, that's fucking tainted water. Tainted water that I believe, with the tests and the research I've done, is specifically geared to compromise the pineal gland. And people, we've talked, me and you can know about the pineal gland, but not everybody else. They don't even know that your pineal gland, when it's blocked, you are unaware of so much going on, and even in your own world. Then when you clear it out and detox it, and you all of a sudden you realize certain things in your relationship or your environment or things on social media, it's just like, whoa, where the fuck have I been? Yeah, you've been removed. It's
Exactly.
like a shield that goes over it, and you literally can't use your intuition, your connection to God. You can't speak what you're feeling. You're just blocked. And now they're trying to go, so the system in the last 10 years has done a really good job at blocking our top chakras. That's why everyone's so brainwashed right now. But right
Yeah.
now with COVID, what they've done is they've shifted, and they've gone down to the bottom, the lower chakras, for safety and grounding and security and confidence and fear, life purpose. All of it is fucked. Like, excuse my language, but it's blocked. There are people that have lost their connections with their own life purpose. Like me and you were talking about censorship, right?
Yeah.
To me, every time this happens, I go in and that chakra gets blocked, and I know it's from it's energetic blocking.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like you said, like you'll do a Zoom, and then there's certain clients that it's like, hello, I can't get on the link. It's like, or your content gets skewed. The voices and the sounds get all messed up so that your viewers can't hear the message. Or they block your content. I don't know how many times I've tried to do a workshop or go live. Every time I've announced it, and I'm almost thinking maybe announcing it is what caused the blockage. Maybe I don't do anything, but we have to. Like right now, we're live, but we have not one viewer. It's just
Exactly,
me and you.
because we're being blocked. We are being blocked from telling the truth. The truth is poisonous, I guess.
So it's
But
like, then
it's,
what do
yeah,
you what do we have? Nothing.
nothing. I guess everybody prefers to live the lie. They love the lies. I don't know, but it's time to wake up. There are a lot of people, who are awakened, but the media places make it like this. They make your broadcast like for the moment they can make it like only you and me can see it on the Facebook and know that it's live, but the people who are following us, who are our friends, they might not see it. It's
See,
just
that's, and I feel like maybe that's why the universe or God has been like, no. And I watch all these people go live and have all these, these pastors go live and they gather and everyone's talking, and it's like, then why are they allowing them?
Because probably they follow the rule, their rule, the everything in the book. I guess we are going beyond the Bible, beyond everything, you know.
Okay, yeah, yeah, and
And
that, and you know, just the Bible thing alone is crazy because I've never read the whole Bible. Um, I am more intrigued with what Jesus did. I've seen like documentaries for me to learn about the Bible. Like I'm a visual learner because reading it sometimes doesn't really process what I'm doesn't really help me process. And so learning about that is really helpful, but at the same time it's like how do we know that that's all there is? So we're going to
good point.
put everything all in one book? Like, but do you guys understand that there were people that chose what to put in that book? What about all the other stuff that happened? What about all the other witnesses? What did they witness
Exactly.
about Jesus? What they encounter? Like, why are we hearing or testimonies from the person that he healed? We're hearing about the story, but we don't hear in the Bible uh, the person's words that was healed by Jesus. Um, there are a lot of conspiracies that the elite went in and tweaked the Bible too, and that's hard to believe. Part of me wants to believe it, part of me doesn't want to believe it because um, that's what's been holding people together is the Bible. And if you tell them that it's not fully real or whatever, then they either get really mad at you and think that you're a Satanist and that you are being misled, or they'll say, "I debunked the devil out of you now." It's like, oh God, I'm not saying Jesus isn't real. He is my everything. I'm just saying, why are we limiting our knowledge about him and God to a book? Why aren't we talking to people with their own personal? What is that?
This is
What are you
that.
showing me?
It means they can see us on Facebook, so
Oh,
that's
okay.
a good thing. Yeah.
Um, what was I saying? They
You were
can.
talking about the Bible, the Jesus, and everything inside. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
That's okay. No, I just. Why are we limiting ourselves to just that, and then not okay with other people going outside of that and saying, well,
Exactly.
why aren't we talking to people that actually had, in this day and age, their own personal encounter with Jesus or God, or how God played in their life? Like, so if it's not sound like a biblical story from someone else's story in the Bible, it's not real. So my declaration of how the Lord came to me isn't real. How Jesus plays his role in my life isn't real. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry
Yeah.
that's not in the Bible. I'm sorry that he didn't lead you that way, or he doesn't talk about stones and herbs and crystals and all these other things, like, because only witches do that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Give
That's
me a
how
fucking
everybody
break.
thinks. Yeah.
Like they came up with these negative perceptions of healers in all different centuries. So if you did anything remotely like Jesus, only Jesus was allowed to do that, which is not true because in the Bible, he talks about how he's here to show us what we can do, but he's like, you can do even more.
Exactly. Exactly.
So why
Hey,
are people forgetting that?
how do you know Jesus and God when you don't know yourself? How is this happening? Think about it. And not everything comes from the Bible. Not everything in life we both know comes from a book, right? Why?
Everything that I know now of the God that I'm following and is leading me is not what I grew up knowing. It is not anything I got out of the Bible.
I
I'm
believe you.
sorry. Like, and I truly
Bulgarian.
hold with conviction that the Lord saved me and he led me to my healing and my transformation. I give all the glory to him. I give the glory to holding Christ's hand, and with every bit of fear that I had for every direction he kept taking me, I was scared as hell. But I held on to his hand and I'm like, I'm not scared if I know you're leading me. I'm not scared if this is what you want for me. So, to talk to people about that kind of faith and that kind of surrender, it's like, well, if you don't know what that is, then don't deny my story. Don't deny my healing story because I allowed
Exactly.
Jesus to heal me. I
Mhm.
He didn't come in and touch me and heal me. He led me to the things that would heal my body. I don't know if it's going to heal your body. But if you surrender and believe, have a belief that there is a higher power and God and Jesus can lead you, how many millions of people in the world have the same testimony as I do? That's why they love Christ.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So you've got Christians denying Christians. You've got Christians judging Christians. When
Mhm.
to be Christian, you have to be the most non-judgmental person ever. To be Christian means
Exactly. Exactly.
to live like Christ.
I love everybody. It doesn't
Yes.
matter. You don't fit people. We
Not
don't fit.
selective. It's not selective loving, and it's not
Exactly.
conditional. It's unconditional with no
Unconditional.
judgment at all. So when you've got
Absolutely.
families not loving you and judging you because you've done this or you've done that or you're doing this and you're doing that, that's not love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm totally agree with you. I know this story very well.
Or people that abuse you over and over and over again and groom that person to believe that that is a form of love language, and then you hear the victim make excuses for their abuser. Oh, I really ticked him off today. I shouldn't have done this, and I did this, and like they deserved to get hit that day, or they were a bitch the night before, so their husband broke up, woke up being a dick to them, so they deserved it because it's like no, it doesn't work that way. But you've been programmed to think it does. So offering them a way out or a way to give them their power back to be able to stand up when you love yourself enough, you don't engage or allow yourself to be in those kind of relationships. So
Absolutely.
so for me to walk away from my family, I love them, but it's like, I got to a point where my whole life I've loved you guys more than I've loved myself. I cared more about what you thought I was doing and what I was doing than what I did. I
Mhm.
need to love myself more than I love you so that I can get me back and know who the fuck am I without you? Who
Exactly.
am I without your beliefs of who you think I am?
Mm-hmm.
Think I'm going to forever be an addict? You think I'm always going to be this? You think I'm always going to be that? Well, I believed that until I had to change it. It's
Exactly.
There are so many people with chronic illness, with chronic pain, chronic issues because of false beliefs. Period. I mean, like, I had emotional attachments from an ex that passed away. And I thought my liver pain had to do, I mean, I was having liver issues from Lyme disease, but the actual main pain that my liver was struggling with was abandonment. And when we discovered that I had abandonment attached to my liver, and we asked if it was safe to release it, and then we did some work to release it, I haven't had the liver pain since. People
Yeah.
don't even want to know that you might be having body pain because of emotional pain. And not a
Mhm.
doctor is going to tell you that because they have a pill to give you something for that pain and never get rid of the emotional pain that's causing it. Like,
Exactly.
how is it that people have healed major illnesses from changing the way and their perception of what they thought about life and how they love themselves?
Absolutely.
So, and
Think about
that's where I
it.
always talk about our cells vibration.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is a vibration. What are your cells vibrating at? And then you've got the
Exactly.
system doing everything to compromise our cells,
Mm-hmm.
making up excuses that everything's COVID, that people don't even know what 5G and high frequencies do to the upper respiratory. What, not even just the upper respiratory, but the cells in that area of the body. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if we actually knew the principles and understanding of the cells and how they function and how the liver cells function, how the gallbladder, when you look at how the liver and or the lung and the upper respiratory, it's like radio waves, radiation, frequencies, negative energies hit the lungs first.
Mm-hmm.
So they've just used COVID to be the perfect escape
Excuse.
route for every single symptom you can have right now. Like, someone on Facebook was coming down on me because I have a friend that's a pharmacist. He's old. He's been a pharmacist for over 30 years. And he's just dumbfounded because after all these years in the industry, it's the first year in his entire career that they don't have Tamiflu
Mm-hmm.
in their pharmacies. Not one doctor has prescribed it. Not one doctor, not one patient has come in for Theraflu. Not one patient has come in with the flu. It's all been COVID. So if you have a cold, if you get the flu, if you get the sniffles, if you get diarrhea, if you get fucking a cough, it's all COVID.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have a headache. Oh my God, I have COVID. Like,
Yeah. You have COVID. You cough, you have COVID.
brainwashing. It's just, I don't know. And I'm hoping that we get to a time and a place where people want to be deprogrammed, want to go, you know what? I really just want to get to the truth. And the only way you can get to the truth is by deleting all the false narratives that you've ever been told.
Yeah.
And
That's the
finding
best
out
way
what's
to
true.
reprogram yourself. That's why I'm telling people you need to reprogram yourself. This
Yep.
negativity, this fear, you know, constant, this pressure you're taking, it's not healthy. It's not
Well,
healthy.
what do you, I mean, like, when you think about an athlete or an Olympian or a CEO, someone that's just gotten to the top, that is a program.
Mhm.
That is
Absolutely.
a subconscious will or a program of self-endurance, whatever they think. It's all up here, and that's what gets them there. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever you do want, if you're having a hard time achieving that, that's because there's something in the subconscious mind that's blocking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I always use that analogy because how was that guy famous and richer? How did that guy become such a great athlete? Well, it took time, it took effort. He believed in himself. He
Mm-hmm.
believed and saw himself before doing it, saw himself doing it.
Exactly.
That is the ability of the human ability. That's what makes us superhuman. We all have that ability. Just pick something. Pick what you want. What do you want to do? Do you want to, and it just sounds so woo-woo, but it's so real. But the system did not want us to be fully thriving. It's
Exactly.
only like, it's almost like they only let a few.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna like, no, we're gonna trick everyone else and make them feel small and just normal. I call us the enslaved ones. And then
Mm-hmm.
all the, elites and the celebrities and the ones that they chose to be A-listers in Hollywood, they're all just sitting on a throne in their own reality. Our reality is not their reality. They get to
Mm-hmm.
do whatever the fuck they want
Yeah.
and think we have free will.
That's true. That's very true. Okay, Evangelina, can you share with us the websites and places where people can find you if they want to work with you, if they want to try your services, you know? They know about my book, The Light Within already. I have done a lot of things with my life also. Basically, our story is the same. I still have problem with the Bulgarians, though. They want to fit me,
Okay,
you know.
so you're Bulgarian.
Yeah, and
So did
Bulgarian,
you?
we're neighbors. We're neighbors. You're from Greece,
Yeah.
but you,
So
yeah.
so did you have to kind of walk away from your family?
Yes, the same story. They wanted me to change. They wanted me to be somebody I'm not. The moment I awoke, I was perceived to be crazy. I was perceived to be this and that, and I didn't want it, you know, to stay
I'm
with
so
them.
sorry.
And I was abused severely. I was treated so bad, you have no idea. And I was
Yeah,
with the
me
wrong
too.
person. I was with the wrong person. He was having a problem. But the Bulgarians, they don't want to accept the fact that I am not going to change. They even having a problem with the fact that I'm vegan. They're having a
What?
problem. Yeah. They want me to eat meat. They want me to, be like them. They want me to join them. They want me to represent them here, and they're giving me so much trouble. You have no idea. They're blocking me, especially the Bulgarian elite in Beverly Hills. They're doing horrible things. They're telling me I should go back to my ex. You have no idea what they're doing. They don't care about who I am, what I want. Uh,
Yeah, that's crazy because like the
yeah,
Greeks are more kind of like, I want to do better than you. So if you're doing really well, we're not going to praise you and we're not going to hold you up because I want to be more than you. I got to have a nicer car
exactly.
than you.
The
I got
same
to have a nicer
mentality.
house than you. I have to have this, or I lost weight and I'm, this and that. So like, you know, um I got like, it was like probably most of my Greek followers all stopped following me or blocked me
Yeah.
versus there were like maybe two Greek girls that I grew up with that were kind of encouraging me throughout my healing journey. But then as soon as I healed and I was able to offer people a way out or help people lose weight, I became a health coach. I did all these, boom, gone. But now they're on social media because they found a way to lose weight. And all the Greek girls are like, oh my God, you look amazing. So proud of you. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay. So
No,
selective,
this is total blocking. Here is total
selective
blocking.
loving. Like, okay, so, and then because I grew up in that, it resonates with me, that weird competitiveness, jealousness of she has more than me or she's doing more than me, and how come everyone likes what she's doing, but I've been doing what she's doing and no one liked me, and it's that little girl in me and saying, I felt that a couple days ago when I saw a girl I grew up with. I'm like, I've shared my illness journey in front of the whole world, and you lost 25 pounds and now you're this mega rock star in the community. You weren't sick. You didn't have issues. You just had a hard time losing weight and finally found a diet that helped you lose weight. Or talking shit about where I live or my home or, Greek people, it's just so competitive and
The
so
same thing.
judgmental.
Bulgarians are the same. Like you're
Oh,
talking
let me
about
see your
the
ring.
Bulgarians.
Let me see
Yeah,
what your man got you. What do you
yeah,
drive? Oh,
exactly.
like who fucking cares? That's why you're divorced, why your husband beats you, why your husband cheats on you,
Yeah, yeah,
and why
yeah,
I'm still married. Like
yeah,
it just
yeah,
makes no sense, because I married an American man. I went
yeah.
against all Greek rules, and I even left the family. I left I moved to another state and raised my kids without my family. So it's my fault. My kids don't have a relationship with with
Oh,
my
the same
parents.
here. The same here. They
It's like
want to
their
fix you.
culture. Greeks don't call their grandkids, don't engage with their grandkids. They're supposed to engage with the grandparents. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not carrying that ancestral fucking bullshit bond that you guys created onto my children. I'm not teaching
Exactly.
them that this, what you guys do, is normal. Because
Yeah,
they think it's
yeah,
normal to fight with family and not talk for years. They think
yeah,
it's normal that you have to hold on to your stubbornness and say, oh, I'm not saying sorry until she says sorry. I didn't do anything wrong. This bullshit.
yes. This
And I
ego.
don't want it.
Yeah,
I'm Greek and I have it in me and I can feel it, but I don't want my kids having that. So
exactly.
I am the one breaking these patterns. And so by me walking away, it's not, it's like half of it is almost going into the old Greek family pattern of, um, oh, we don't talk to that sister because blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, my parents had their own upbringings of their family not being there for each other. And I'm like, how do you guys not see you're not doing it now? You're doing the same shit to me. How do you
Exactly.
abandon, when you're a mother and you have 4 kids? How do you abandon one child? When you have a big family, how do you, like, I don't know. It's not my language. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
yeah. I know.
I,
I know.
I don't want it to be my kids. And they grew up watching me be hurt all the time, bullied, verbally abused. And finally, when my son was 16, he just stood up and said, shut the fuck up. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like, just leave my mom alone. And I was like, oh, that was a check-in moment. Like, wow, whoa. Now my kids are old enough. They're paying attention and they're aware. So that's enough. They don't need to see anymore.
Exactly.
They already
Exactly.
know, they are aware, and I don't want them exposed to them watching me be abused and me going, it's okay, it's family. Let's go back to Yaya and Papu's house for Christmas. And they're like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
you know, I'm not going to do the back and forth toxic dialogue relationship. It's not healthy. It made me very sick. It made me crazy. The crazy that they still think I am is because they caused me to get crazy. And then when I
Exactly.
got well, I'm a whole new crazy.
Exactly. I know. I know. The same thing here, right now, they continue to be in my life, continue to pressure me, continue. This is harassment. This is abuse. They want to feature the Bulgarians. They want me to go to Chicago and join them, the whole community, Bulgarian community in Chicago. They slander me. They talk horrible things about me. You have no idea the kind of a slander, a really bad slander, it's really difficult to comprehend how they can talk about somebody they never met in their life. It's just Absolutely, absolutely outrageous. I'm not Christian, not Orthodox Christian.
Maybe it's got to
I'm
be like a,
yeah,
maybe it's fear and intimidation that you got free and you're
yeah,
not stuck living their
yeah,
fucking rules.
exactly. Yes, yes. And they're the men, and they're gonna tell me. And most of the slandering is done by men, which is absolutely. I know there are women involved also, but you have no idea. It's ego. We're gonna feed her. We're gonna tell her what to do. She cannot do that. She cannot be vegan. She can. She needs to come to the church here in Hollywood with us, and I don't go there because it's a spiritual beings, we can mingle with all kinds of religious people. We can go and we can do whatever we want to do, but they just want to show me, that we're not going to allow you to stay on the phone, and talk to your mom like they have been doing it from Bulgaria. You have no idea what they're doing to me.
Well,
It's
yeah,
absolutely outrageous.
I
Outrageous.
do understand. I mean, I haven't. I know that a lot of Greek people have talked bad behind my back, um, but I don't want to hear about it. But it's like
So bad.
I don't understand. It's very cult like to me, and
Mm-hmm.
so if you step out,
Out of the community. Oh
you're a bad
my
person
gosh.
now. You're
Yeah,
bad, or you make the church look bad, or they don't
yeah.
want anything to do with you, even though they've known you your whole life. Um, um, I just felt, even just going to church, the Greek church, you had to like dress up. You have to be
Yeah,
like really fancy. You have to
yeah,
look really, really nice, and everyone's looking at your clothes and what you're wearing, and no one's talking. And if you have a clique, you hang out with the clique, and oh, the Greek girls talk. It's just like, dude, this isn't fucking church, dude. This is not real church. Sorry.
Every, everybody's going to show themselves what kind of a car they drive, how they
Yes.
dress.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
gosh.
show. It's total show. It's not. I don't want anything to do with this. And people talk behind the back of the person who is not right here, there, and I don't want anything to do with it. I want to live in peace. I want to be this spiritual being I am, and I'm happy with who I am, and I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, like when I started going to another church, wasn't Greek Orthodox. Um, my husband's not Greek Orthodox, so I needed to respect my husband, and my kids are both. I'm Greek,
Mhm,
he's not.
mhm,
So we raise them both. We
mhm,
expose them to the Greek church,
mhm,
and we expose them to, non-dimensional church of just hearing about Jesus. Okay?
mhm,
We didn't need to see the gold gowns and all the woo-woo and all the chanting and not knowing what the hell they're talking about it up there on
yeah,
the altar.
yeah,
That didn't do us any good, but that's what I grew up, and I wanted them to get a piece of mom's side of the culture. But
exactly.
it's not like they were learning about God at my
Yeah,
church. I
yeah.
didn't learn about God at my church when I was growing up. So my parents now are like, when I told them that, when I went and had a talk with the pastor at the church I go to, and how he did this beautiful, he made me, I was so broken and sad that because I felt the Lord was telling me it was okay for me to walk away from my family. And I had been refusing the call for years. And, but I had to tell the pastor that I've been doing so much better because that I've walked away, but it still kills me at night. Like
Yeah,
I'm going to try not to cry now, but I have to pray at night for them because they are my family. That's my
exactly.
mom. That's my
Yeah,
dad.
yeah.
And they
Believe
live
you.
down the street. You know what I mean? So I have, it's just crazy.
I
But
know. I know.
um,
There is nothing we can do now. Why you should have to change so they can accept you? And love is unconditional. If you believe in God, if you believe, in Jesus, you should know that love is unconditional. You should accept your child the way they are. You
well, that
shouldn't
was
try.
that's what the pastor was saying. He's like, he just kind of grabbed
Exactly.
my hand and was like, the Lord had you be reborn. And if they
Exactly.
can't accept you for your rebirth, then it's okay.
Exactly.
Walk away. They're not your family.
Yes.
The Lord will
Yes.
lead you to your family. And he did.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's so
Absolutely.
sad, but thank you. Like, and so I said that to my mom one time. I go, you know what? I don't feel so bad from walking away because I got conviction and validation today that when you guys aren't accepting the rebirth the Lord gave me. Like, you're not accepting the new me. So then I'm okay walking away from you, and I'm not going to stay hurt over it. oh wow, what kind of church are you going to? That sounds like devil shit. And like, all the, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to go there because this is not going to fix anything. It's not gonna happen. They're not gonna change. So just you need to save the pain, to experience the pain in additional, hurt.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna happen.
No, and I remember years ago a therapist saying, look at it this way, Evangelia. He's like, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions and you're gonna answer me clearly. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, were they able to do it for you then? Like when you were young? I said, no. He says, are they able to do it for you now? And I said, no. And he goes, do you think they'll ever be able to do it for you later? And I was like, I honestly don't know. And he goes, it's a no. If they can't do it then, they're not doing it now, they never will. This
Absolutely.
is your journey of moving on and accepting them. They don't want to accept you. That's why you have this static relationship of in and out, in and out, in and out, fight, 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 because they're the ones that don't want to accept me. I now have to be on the journey of accepting, letting them go and being who they are. Like, it's not you, Evangelia. It's nothing you did. It's who they are. Do not allow them to make you feel like a broken person.
Yes.
And
totally agree. Totally agree. Once you awake,
when I went to rehab,
Yeah.
my treatment to stay sober, I was in rehab for 30 days. And right before you leave, your counselor in your team creates a 12-month treatment plan for you to follow to stay sober. And the number one thing I was supposed to do, because I paid for treatment, I have to follow the protocol, right? I had to, for 12 months straight, no engagement with my family. I'm thinking, that was 2008. And then I go to Mexico 10 years later, in 2018, struggling. And my doctor's like, you're never going to heal. These treatments aren't going to work until you stop engaging with them. Absolutely. I know you love them, Evangelia. They're not the love that your body needs right now while you're trying to heal. He's like, when you're ready and you're healed and you're brave and you're strong enough, you can go back and engage in a safer way, right? Absolutely. So I'm like, oh my God. So I guess my root cause was my family.
Yes. Yes. That's why you want to
accept it, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't want to accept it either. They don't want to hear it. It's not their fault. They want to still deny the abuse I went through. They still want to deny me being molested and all the shit that happened to me. I'm not denying it. I'm not being silenced. I'm not going to silence myself over that anymore. I am not ashamed.
Why did you write this book? Why did you say, what kind of a Christian are you? Your husband can do whatever they want on you, I know the
reason why I haven't, this is the reason why I haven't written my book. I've been trying to write a book for 10 years, but I've been scared because it has to do with my family. And when I started it, I wasn't at where I'm at now, to where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I just won't put your names in the book. But this is my story, not yours. My experience, not yours. Yes, we lived under the same roof, but unfortunately, all 4 of us had different experiences. This one is mine.
Exactly.
So, and what manifested in my life because of it was my experience, not yours.
Yes.
It's not pointing the finger at them in the book. It's just sharing my traumas, sharing the things that happened to me as a child, how I got through it, what it resulted in me doing, what kind of boyfriends it made me landed, what kind of drugs it made me do. All of those things because of, not having the support, not being welcomed authentically, not being, being rejected as the black sheep, or you're a bad person. So it's like, I want to share with the world why a lot of people get misled, why they get sick, why they become an addict. I'm a testimony of that. Absolutely. And then my end of the story will be how I healed from it. I haven't been able to finish the book only because I'm so distracted right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I have to I've written a couple chapters already, but man, and I know you've written a book and gone through the process way before I have. So I don't even know. All I know is I have to be in a specific field when I write, because I'm forcing myself to go back into that memory. And I've done the healing for it, and that's why I can write about it, but I have to be like,
I know what you mean very well. I was
I have to be fire into a place to really rewrite the whole fucking memory. That you have to walk yourself through it again. So it's hard, but I'm gonna do it. I just is there any tips you can give me, because I think this book thing is like driving me insane. And then you got Facebook,
Yeah.
and I'm always on Facebook, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't write today. Okay, I'll write tomorrow. And then you're on Facebook all day. I'm so scared I'm gonna miss out on posting the right thing or saying the right message. Someone somewhere needs to hear this. So I'm constantly making sure that I can try to get something out there, you know? But like you said, Facebook's blocking it all. Only selective
Yeah.
people are seeing it, right?
Yeah, yeah, sometimes they do that, depends, or they remove after several days, depends from the content, or if somebody sent, to Facebook and say, hey, this content here, I don't like it, or makes me feel, depressed, or makes me feel scared, or anything like this, depends, people are different, depend. I think this is the main reason they remove stuff from Facebook. They don't want to get into trouble because
So,
of it.
like, then what do we do on another time? Do we do a Zoom and then get the
Yeah,
link and then tell people we're going to go do a live Zoom on Thursday at this time? Here's the link. Please join.
yeah, yeah,
Because
exactly.
then we're not worried about if it's on Facebook or if it's on Twitter. It's for the people that want to engage.
Exactly,
So
exactly. For
let's
the
get
people
a
who wants
link
to, yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah. Okay, we are at the end of this
Yep.
great conversation. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
your sound's off again.
Yeah, we had amazing time, and you can find Evangelina, and all the links are going to
Okay, I'll
be
say it. You
below
can,
the video.
my website is spiritawakener.com. And I have a Facebook page called Empowering Warriors. And then just my Facebook account, either Evangelia Venzel or my backup account. Since censorship is so high right now, I created a backup account called Angelic Healer, just in case I lose, access to my page. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
Thank you
now
for
we'll start.
today. I hope we do more of
Yeah.
these.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. You covered the abuse, domestic violence, everything. That's amazing. We want to see people to be happy. We want to see people to open up their hearts. We want to see people to bring their goodness inside outside. That's why we are doing this, to be brave, to share their story, and to find their purpose. Without finding your purpose, you're not going to be able to live the life you always wanted. You're not going to be happy, and life is going always to be, to be dark, because you
Nope.
are not living your purpose. You're not doing the things you should do, and complaining, being hateful, resentful, I have been repeating it so many times, it's not going to
Oh,
help you.
sound is off.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for everybody who was with us. I hope this is gonna help you, and I wish you amazing week. And
And
we
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. And we're gonna be again with Angelina.
Yeah.
December 29 is going to be, I guess. Not December 29, I'm going to do my music video. Then we're gonna be on December 30th. We're gonna do some meditation with Evangelina for
Okay.
you. Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna do this, and the links are going to be below this video or above. We will see. So thank you so much. We wish you amazing week, and be who you want to be. Do the thing that makes you, because you know what is right for
Amen.
you. Thank
Okay.
you,
We'll talk to you later.
Angelina. Yeah,
Okay.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.